Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I have a great Pilates core and glute workout for you. Let's get started. So let's start by activating your deep abdominal muscles, your T-zone. If you don't know what I mean by your T-zone, please refer to my Pilates basics video linked below. So in a neutral spine, we're going into lift foot. So keep your T-zone tight and then bring up one leg at a time into tabletop. In tabletop, your knee is at 90 degrees and your toe is pointed. The knee comes directly above your hips. Excellent. So it's an exhale to lift the leg, an inhale to lower. So the main aim here is to keep your spine and your hips nice and stable. This exercise is a great exercise to warm up your abdominal muscles for your workout. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Really drawing in your T-zone, keeping the hips and spine nice and still. Beautiful work. Okay, moving on, we're going to lift foot and extend. So inhale, lift the leg in tabletop. Exhale, extend the leg along the ground. Inhale to come in, exhale to lower. So there's 4 movements. So inhale, leg into tabletop, exhale, extend, inhale to come back to tabletop, exhale to lower. Beautiful work. So really keep your ribs to hips so your back isn't arching, especially when you're extending the leg long. To make this harder, you can lower the leg lower and further, really stretching through the leg. And to make it easier, you don't have to stretch the leg as long and you can aim higher. Beautiful. Just check your shoulders are pulling back and down, your chin is tucked in, and your T-zone is tight. Really hollow out the belly. And just a reminder, today we are working your core and glutes, so you shouldn't feel it in your neck, back, hips, or any joint pain. Just the muscles we are working today. Again, remember the aim here is to prevent your hips from rocking or your spine from moving. So really drawing up through your pelvic floor and across with your transverse abdominis, keeping that T-zone super tight. Hopefully you're starting to feel your core really activate. We've only got 1 to go. Well done. Okay, next is toe taps. So for toe taps, we need an imprinted spine because the feet and the legs are coming into tabletop. So imprint the lower spine to the ground, bring your legs into tabletop. Now keeping that 90 degrees at the knee, you're going to exhale and tap the toe to the ground, inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Lovely. To make this harder, you can increase the angle at the knee, or to make it easier, you can decrease it and tap the foot closer towards you. Excellent. Keep that going. So exhale to tap the toe, inhale to bring it back to tabletop. So really keep that T-zone tight. Keep the spine imprinted so the back is not arching, especially as you're lowering the leg. Check your shoulders are back and down and your chin is tucked in. Good. And again, to make it harder, you can tap the foot out further like I'm doing, or to make it easier, you can bring the foot in closer. Just really try to keep the same angle at the knee as you're doing this movement. You're doing amazing. So really keeping that scooped belly, so keep your T-zone tight, keep scooping out the belly so it's not lifting and doming. Check your shoulders are relaxing back and down and the chin is tucked in. Okay, moving on. So we'll keep our imprinted spine and the legs in tabletop. Bring your arms out to the side with the shoulders back and down. We're going into pendulum, so rotating the spine. Really focus on keeping the ribs to hips. You definitely don't want to arch your back in this exercise. So you're going to squeeze the knees together and lower the legs to the side, controlling this movement with all your core, your abdominals. So inhale, lower the legs to the side. Exhale, bring them back to center. Try not to let the shoulders lift off the ground. And again, it's really important to keep your ribs to hips so your back is not arching. Keep your legs squeezing together so your knees stay right on each other. They're not sliding up and down each other. Keep the legs at 90 degrees and the toes are pointed. So we can make this next pendulum a little bit harder by extending the leg as you get to the side. So you're going to extend the inside leg straight and then breathe out to bring it back to center, and then bring the legs back into tabletop. Nice. Really keeping your ribs to hips so your back is not arching. Keep that T-zone tight. Keep scooping out the belly. Keep pulling your shoulders back and down. Really use your abdominals to do this movement. Try not to use your arms to push. That's it. Keeping the chin tucked in. And smile. You're doing so well. Again, remember you can rest anytime. And if the leg extending is too much for you, just stay with the normal pendulum. So keep going with these. So it's an inhale to go to the side, and it's an exhale to come back to center. Nice work. Keep it going. Okay, and they're done. Okay, if you slid down your mat like me, just come back up to the top. So T-zone tie, imprint your spine. We're going to do abdominal curls in tabletop. So interlace your fingers behind your head and gently rest your head into your hands. Elbows wide, shoulders back and down, and chin tucked in. Squeeze your knees together. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, curl the body up. Inhale, come back down. So you're using your abdominals to curl your body up to bring your ribs towards your hips. Now, nothing should move. Your hips shouldn't rock, your knees, your legs shouldn't move. It's just your abdominals shortening your ribs to your hips. Good. Try not to pull on your head so the elbows stay wide and the abdominals are pulling you up, not your arms. Well done. So it's an exhale to curl the body up. Inhale to control back down. Well done. Now, if it's getting too much to have your feet in tabletop, you can lower your feet onto the ground like I'm doing and continue on with the abdominal curls. It does put a lot more tension on your abdominals when your legs are in tabletop. So at any time, you can lower the legs to the ground and continue on. If you're up for a challenge though, lift those legs back up into tabletop and keep going. It's an exhale to shorten, ribs to hips, inhale to control back down. Fabulous work. You should definitely be feeling those abdominal muscles. They're working very hard. Exhale to curl the body up, inhale to come back down. Nice work. Okay, next we're going into oblique curls. So keep the legs where they are. Just bring your knees now to hip distance apart. Keep that imprinted spine. This time as you curl the body up, you're going to curl across the body. So right rib cage to left hip bone, come back down, and then left rib cage to right hip bone, come back down. Keep scooping out the belly. Keep the T-zone tight. Keep the legs still. The hips shouldn't be rocking. And keep the elbows wide. So think rib cage to hip bone, not elbow. Keep those elbows wide, shoulders pulling back and down, and chin tucked in. To make this harder, you can obviously curl across a little further to make it easier. You don't have to curl over as far, or again, like before, you can lower your legs to the floor. Just remember, if your feet are on the floor, you just have a neutral spine, not an imprinted. If the feet are in tabletop, imprint your spine. Exhale to curl the body across. Inhale to come back down. Okay, last one. Well done. Okay, it's time to do some glute work. So let's lay on your side. Mind me, I've lost my hair clip. So we're going to lay on your side. So there's going to be a straight line at the back of your mat from your wrist, shoulder, hips, and feet. That's it. Keep a gap between the waist and the floor, so push that top hip away to keep the hips stacked and the spine in neutral. T-zone tight. Inhale, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, open the knees, and then inhale to lower. Good. So really working into those outer glutes. So squeeze the heels together, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, open the knees. Nice work. You should feel it just where I'm pointing, right there in the glutes. Good. Keep the T-zone tight so your hips aren't rocking. And make sure your back isn't arching, so keep the ribs to hip connection. Nice work. Just check your shoulders pulling back and down and your chin is tucked in. Good. Exhale to open, inhale to control back down. Nice work. To make this harder, you can open the knees wider, just as long as your hips don't rock back. To make it easier, obviously you don't have to open as much. Okay, next rep we're going to add on. So open the knees, inhale, exhale, extend the leg in line with the rest of the body, in line with the hips, no lower. Good, so inhale to open, exhale to extend, inhale to come back, heels together, exhale to lower the knees back to the starting position. Beautiful. Really keep the hips still, keep the ribs to hips so you're not arching through your back. And really stretch the leg in line with the rest of the body, hip height or higher. Beautiful. To make it harder, extend the leg higher and further back without arching your back. And to make it easier, don't extend the leg quite as high or as far back. So it's an inhale to open, an exhale to extend the leg, inhale to come back, heels together, exhale to lower the knee. Beautiful. You can keep your hand out in front to keep you a bit more stabilized, or you can put your hand on your hips, push that top hip away to make sure the hips are stacked and you're keeping the gap between the waist and the floor. Now just note, you should only be feeling this through the glute and not the side of the leg. We want to be firing up the glute and not the ITB or the side of the leg. So really focus on the glute doing the work. If any other muscles are kicking in, just take a rest and then come back when you're ready. Okay, the next exercise in this series is the straight leg raise. So straighten the top leg, lift it up to hip height and sweep it out in front of the body. Turn the knees and toes towards the floor and keep the foot relaxed. So inhale T-zone, exhale raise the leg up. Inhale, lower the leg without touching the floor. That's it. Keep those hips stacked. Keep the gap between the waist and the floor. Really squeeze the glute to lift the leg. So again, it's inhale to lower, exhale, squeeze the glute to lift the leg. So to make this harder, you can obviously lift the leg higher and you can bring the leg forward in line with that bottom thigh. To make it easier, don't lift the leg as high and don't bring it as far forward. Okay, take a rest if you need. Otherwise, let's keep going. Only a few to go. That's it. Inhale to lower, exhale to squeeze the glute and lift the leg. Well done. Okay, last one in this series is the clam at 90 degrees. So let's bring the knees forward so your hips and knees are at 90 degrees. Same as before, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the heels together and open the knees and then lower. Exhale to open, inhale to lower. Beautiful. Now this gets deep into those glute muscles, those external hip rotators. So breathe out to open, breathe in to come back down. Nice. Keep those hips stacked so they're not rocking back as you lift the leg. Keep the back in neutral. So keep the ribs to hips so your back is not arching. And also make sure your bottom is not tucked under. Make sure it's sticking out just a little so you've got that neutral back, that little curve in the lower back. Nice. Keep that going. Just check your shoulders are relaxed back and down, your chin's tucked in. You're doing amazing. All right, and they are done. Let's do it all on the other side, which I have to say is often harder. The second side is often harder. So always remember when training glutes in this position to keep swapping the first side that you do. Okay, doing the clams. So again, the feet, the hips, the shoulders, and the hands are in a straight line at the back of your mat. Push the top hip away to keep the gap between the waist and the floor so the hips are stacked and the spine is in neutral. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the heels together and open the knee. Inhale, lower the knee. Beautiful. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're absolutely loving this Pilates workout as much as I am. I'm in the beautiful Greece on one of the Greek islands, and it is so beautiful where I am. Where are you doing your Pilates from? Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know. Anyway, a few more clams to go. This side probably is burning a lot more than the other side as that bottom glute has already worked, but it still has to stabilize. So remember, it's an exhale to open and inhale to control back down. Remember to push that top hip away so it's not collapsing towards you. So you're keeping your hips stacked, keeping the gap between the waist and the floor, keeping the T-zone tight and the ribs to hips. Okay, continuing on, we've got clams with the extension. So inhale to open, exhale to extend the leg, inhale to come back, heels together, exhale to lower that leg. Beautiful. Remember to extend the leg in line with the rest of the body, no lower than hip height. To make it harder, extend the leg higher and further back without arching your back. And to make it easier, don't extend the leg quite as high or as far back. You're doing amazing. I hope your glutes are on fire as much as mine are. I know mine are working super hard today, but what a good feeling. So keep this going. Just think, how strong are these glutes getting today? Okay, we're going into the straight leg raise. So extend that top leg out in line with your body, no lower than hip height. Then sweep the leg forward, turn the toe and knee down, and keep the foot relaxed. So it's an inhale to lower and an exhale to raise the leg. That's it, really working through those glutes now. The bottom one to stabilize and the top one to lift the leg. Well done. So remember to make it harder. Keep that leg out further forward in line with that bottom thigh, and then really lift the leg as high as you can without letting the hips rock. To make it easier, you don't have to come out as far forward or lift the leg as high. Good. Remember, you can take the rest whenever you need, but otherwise keep it going. You are doing so good. Your glutes are getting so strong. Only a few to go. So it's an exhale to squeeze the glute and raise the leg. Inhale to lower. Stay strong. Only one to go. Well done. Okay, the last one in this series is the clam at 90 degrees. So bring your knees forward so the hips and the knees are at 90 degrees. The hips are stacked and there's a gap between the waist and the floor. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the heels together and open the knees. Inhale, slowly control the knee back down. Nice work. Keep them going. Okay, only 2 to go. You've got this. Well done. Okay, now we're going to lay on your stomach and continue doing glute work. Okay, the next exercise is breaststroke legs, and this works your buttocks, your back of the legs, and your lower back. So laying on your stomach, you really want to tuck your tailbone under, pushing your pubic bone into the mat with a neutral spine. Extend the legs long and turn them out. Flex your feet back and squeeze the heels together. Really tuck the tailbone under so you're not arching through your back. Inhale, squeeze your glutes and raise the legs off the floor. And exhale, start beating the heels, opening the feet and closing the feet. Really working through the buttocks muscles. Remember, your toes are turned out and your feet are flexed. And you don't want to be arching through your lower back. So really tuck the tailbone, push the pubic bone into the mat and lift the belly off the mat. Now just check your shoulders pulling back and down, the chin is tucked in with your forehead resting on your hands. Now to make this harder, you can raise the legs as high as you can without arching your lower back, and to make it easier, don't raise the legs as high or open the feet as wide. You can also take a few rests in between a few beats, and you can also beat the heels slower. Okay, next we're doing freestyle legs, and this also works the glutes and the back of the thighs and lower back muscles. So stay laying on your stomach with your head resting on your hands. Straighten those legs hip distance apart and keep the toes pointed. So keep the neutral spine, keep the tailbone tucked into the mat with your T-zone tight. Inhale, squeeze your glutes and raise the legs off the floor, keeping them straight. Exhale, you're going to start scissoring the legs up and down. Inhale, scissor for a few kicks. Exhale, scissor for a few kicks. Nice. We're not doing many, but if you want to make this easier, you can lower the legs, keep one on the floor and lift the other and scissor them this way. Okay, guess what? We're up to our last exercise, and this is the hinge. So we're going to start kneeling with our knees hip distance apart, feet flat on the mat and the toes are pointed. So we want to really tuck the tailbone under, thinking ribs to hips so you're not arching through your lower back. Bring your arms out in front of you, shoulder height, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. We're in a neutral spine with our T-zone tight. You're going to inhale and lean the whole body backwards in one straight line, like a falling tree, hinging from the knees. Exhale, return back to vertical. Now it's really important to keep the glutes and the core really super tight so you're not arching through your lower back. You want to feel this through the front of the thighs and the core and glutes, definitely not the lower back. So keep this going. It's an inhale as you lean back and exhale as you return back to vertical. To make it harder, you can lean back further and pause there for a few seconds before coming back. To make it easier, don't lean back as far. Okay, if you're up for an extra challenge today, we're adding the arm opening. So it's an inhale, lean back, and exhale to open the arms. Inhale, close the arms. Exhale to lean forward. Again, really keeping the ribs to hips so you're not arching through the back. Keep the glutes firing nice and strong. Keep the shoulders back and down, the chin tucked in. And only go as far as you can really control it and keep that core super strong and spine in neutral. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, open the arms. Inhale, close the arms. Exhale to lean forward. Remember, to make this harder, you can lean back further as long as you're controlling and keeping your core super tight and not arching through your lower back. To make it easier, don't lean back as far. You've smashed today's workout. We've only got a few reps to go and you're done. Awesome work. Let's go. One more. Well done. Okay, let's drop down into a prayer stretch. So from your all fours, you're going to sink your bottom back onto your heels and stretch out your arms in front of you, really reaching through the hands, really stretching through the arms, stretching out the underarms, lats, and maybe some lower back if it is a little tight. Excellent. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. Enjoy this. You worked super hard today. Today's Pilates workout was super challenging. You did amazing. Well done. So just staying here for a little bit longer. Really sink into the stretch. Remember stretching through the arms, reaching through the fingers, and lowering the body towards the ground. Nice work. Okay, we're going to finish off with the pigeon stretch. So you're going to bend that leg up in front of you, trying to keep it horizontal across your mat. Flex the foot back to protect the knee, and then sink your hips down and really stretch that back leg long. Trying to lower the glutes to the ground. Really stretching through the glutes. You can stay up on the hands, or you can bring your upper body towards the ground, resting your head on your hands. Now you can stay here a little longer if you are enjoying this stretch or you feel your glutes need it. Otherwise, come with me and swap legs. Nice. So trying to keep your shin nice and parallel across your mat, really stretching that back leg long and sinking your hips down to the ground. Keep your T-zone tight. So inhale, T-zone, exhale, sink your hips down a little deeper. Beautiful. Please feel free to stay in this pigeon stretch a little longer. Otherwise, you are done, and I hope you absolutely loved today's ab and glute Pilates workout. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye for now.